Thank you so much for coming out this evening, and welcome to the Heritage Oak Cliff Forum for Dallas City Council District 3. Let's give these candidates a round of applause. This forum is sponsored by Heritage Oak Cliff, which is a coalition of 30-plus neighborhood groups and homeowners associations that has served the Oak Cliff community for 40 years. Tonight's event is the first of 7 forums sponsored by Heritage Oak Cliff. And for more information on those other events, I think we have it on the inside of your programs tonight. These are the other forums that are taking place. Right now, we'll have some comments from Rick.
Appreciate it. Thank you and welcome everyone. So like she said, I want to welcome everyone here as part of Heritage Oak Cliff. And she kind of mentioned what it is we do, which is cool. So I also want to, Heritage Oak Cliff works together to support. Okay, is that better? Okay, so Heritage Oak Cliff works very hard to support and protect our neighborhoods. We also support the neighborhood through grants and through other technical assistance. Also, part of Heritage Oak Cliff, we showcase the Oak Cliff to the greater community through events like the annual Fall Home Tour and other events such like this. So at this point, I would like to welcome Tom Forsythe and thank him and the committee for everything they've done getting this put together. Tom is the chair of the Candidate Forum Committee that works very hard on all of these 7 other forums we're putting together. So I'm going to turn it over to Tom.
Can y'all hear me okay? All right, great. I'd like to thank all the folks who have worked with us on the committee. Sandra Aldridge, who is the president of the Singing Hills neighborhood. I'd like to thank Sandra. I'd like to thank Amanda Johnson from the Southern Hills neighborhood. Amanda's back there in the back, sitting at one of the tables against the wall. She has voter registration cards. She is a deputized voter registrar, so she could actually register you to vote tonight if you're not registered. So please make sure to, before you leave tonight, to go register if you're not registered. The deadline for registering in the election is April 4th, 1 month before the May election. So I'd also like to thank Ellie Hijack, who is the former president of Heritage Oak Cliff, for the work that she's done in helping us plan and organize this event and getting it off the ground. Mary Harrison in the back there. Mary is with she's the vice president of the Oak Park Estates Neighborhood Association, and Mary's just been tireless in her efforts working this year as well as also in the candidate forums that we did last year. And let's see, Becky Lewis, who is our moderator tonight, she's also been helping us with the organizing for the forum too. So we've really had a great team of folks. We do need volunteers to work at each of the events that are coming up. If you look at your programs that we've given you tonight, on the inside of the program you'll see a schedule for all the candidate forums. The next candidate forum will be coming up on Tuesday, March 19th, and it will be the candidate forum for the District 1 council seat. So if you're in that area or if you're interested in that race, that's the seat that Scott Briggs holds today. And he is, of course, not running for re-election. I think he was term limited, and so he's actually running for mayor. So please join us for that race on Tuesday, March 19th, and that will be at the Tyler Street United Methodist Church. And then for those of you, since we're near District 4, many of you may be interested in that race. And that race will be on Tuesday, March 26th. And that will be at the Paul Dunbar Library at Keystone and Lancaster. So if you're in District 4 or have friends in District 4, tell them about that event on Tuesday, March 26th. And then also, I want to urge you to come back. All of you, of course, are going to be interested in the mayor's race forum. And we're scheduling a candidate forum for the 9 candidates in the mayor's race. And that forum will be on Monday, April 8th and that will be at the Cliff Temple Baptist Church in the Fellowship Hall. And that's a beautiful, beautiful facility if you've ever been to that church before, and I hope you'll join us for that. And we have three other forums too, and I'm not going to go through the details on those, but they're on the flyer that is handed out to you tonight with your program, okay? I'd really like to thank and welcome Becky Lewis for being the moderator tonight. Becky actually ran as a candidate for the District 4 council seat in the special election last fall. And she participated in our candidate forum that we had in October at the Bishop Dunn Catholic School. And actually, she is an alumni of Bishop Dunn Catholic School, a graduate of Bishop Dunn. So it was kind of like a homecoming for her when she was at our forum last year. And on a cold, rainy night, in like the 40s or something like that, we had still 150 people show up for that forum at Bishop Dunn, and all 12 of the candidates in that special election, which ultimately came down to a runoff, and we had another forum at the Moreland Y in November, and we had Carolyn King Arnold and Kiara Saunders, and I apologize, I forgot to turn off my my ringer. Let me right now. Okay, my apologies. Turn that off right now. So we had the runoff election that was in November at the Moreland Y, and we had 200 people show up at that event. So it's really exciting to see the civic engagement and the excitement that people have and the interest that they have in these elections. So we appreciate you being here tonight. So Becky, though, is an HR professional today, like Anja Sanders. Anja Sanders is our moderator assistant. She's at the table, and so when you have questions tonight, fill them out on the card and give them to the usher, and the usher will bring them to Anja, and then she'll actually go through the questions and then give them to Becky, who is going to be moderating tonight. And Becky also worked as a customer liaison for Congresswoman Eddie Bernice Johnson for many years. And she was a very successful constituent liaison for Eddie Bernice Johnson as well. And she's just tireless in her involvement in civic activity. And so I'm just so appreciative for Becky for being here tonight. And I'm going to let Becky actually turn it over to her and let her give you all the ground rules. And I see Britannica showed up. Good. I was talking a little longer just to make sure that Britannica showed up here. All right. Thank you, Becky.
Thanks, Tom. All right, we do have 4 candidates we expect to hear this evening. And thank you once again for everyone to be here tonight. Like I said, this is the first of 7 forums that Heritage Oak Cliff is sponsoring. And we usually get a pretty good crowd. So I have a few ground rules for the evening. This is for the candidates and for people here in the audience. First of all, I want to be clear that Heritage Oak Cliff does not endorse any candidates in this and any other race. They are a sponsor, and they're here to help the community be able to get more information about the candidates. Tonight we have about 1.5 hours to discuss District 3 and the City of Dallas goals and issues. We have some volunteer ushers here tonight that will assist with the forum. They're going to have index cards. If you have a question, please write it on the index card, hold it up, someone will come by and pick it up for you and give it to Anja, and we will be able to ask those questions. Hopefully we'll get to all of the questions that you have. Please keep those questions concise, keep them respectful and relevant to the issues in this particular race. Submit them as soon as possible, okay? We also, like Tom said, we have voter registration cards and change of address cards at the front table. So if you need to change your address so you can be sure to vote in the proper district, please do so as soon as possible. Okay, each candidate is going to be given 1 minute. 1 minute to introduce themselves. These are opening statements. I'd like you to introduce yourself and kind of give us a little information about what's most important to you in this particular race. And then we'll start with the other questions. All right, we ready to go? All right, then, thank you. We'll start with Devontae Peters.
Hello, my name is Devontae Peters. I appreciate everyone coming out. I'm from District 3. I grew up here. I'm running because I like to see a change in this district. I feel like we haven't been represented like we should. A few things I've done in my community is I'm a police brutality organizer. I was part of the Dallas 9 protest where we was protesting for O'Shea Terry and Rotham John, looking for police brutality reform. Also, other things I've been a part of is orchestrating community gardens in my neighborhood. Also, health screening, community health and wellness events. So, yeah, I'm here. I'd like to be a part of this district, and I'd like to grow with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Peters. Thank you for being here. Take your hand, please. This is the young man who's first time running for office. Thank you so much for your, this takes a lot. Okay, the next person that we will have is our incumbent, Mayor Pro Tem Casey Thomas.
Good evening. First, I want to thank Heritage Oak Cliff for hosting this. Let's give them a round of applause for hosting this event. And so, for those who don't know me, my name is Casey Thomas. I was born and raised here in Dallas, Texas. Prior graduate of Skyline High School. I went to the University of North Texas where I got a Bachelor of Business Administration and Human Resource Management and spent 15 years as a classroom teacher. 10 of those years I spent at Dallas ISD. I'm a husband of Lakeisha Thomas, who is the current principal of T.W. Brown Middle School, which is in District 3. I have 2 little boys who at basketball practice, they'll say be here supporting their dad. They are 9 and 12 years old. My youngest goes to Adele Turner. He's in the 4th grade. And my oldest goes to T.W. Brown because his mother is the principal. And so it's been an honor to represent you for the past almost 4 years on the Dallas City Council. In the past 4 years, we've made a lot of progress. We've seen a lot of change. We've seen a lot of development. And so my time is up. I look forward to more and I ask for your vote. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas. Next, we have Charletta Rogers Compton.
Can you hear me? Okay. Yes, who is Charlotte Rogers Compton? I'm a 38-year resident of District 3, mother of 2 girls. I'm also a Dallas County elected official, and I have been one for 18 and a half years. Neighborhood and community advocate. I've served as president or chairman of the board for a number of well-known organizations in Dallas. I've also received a number of awards. I bring solid leadership skills and a wide-ranging depth of experience to this race, having worked in public institutions for over 40 years. I want to be your next council person because to me, all of District 3 matters. I want to go back to doing the one thing that started me on this journey, and that was just working in my neighborhood association to improve the quality of life for all of the citizens. Thank you.
And Ms. Britannica Scott.
Hello everyone, my name is Britannica Scott and I am running for District 3 because I wish to improve the infrastructure, the education and affordable housing crisis in our community. I am currently a regional supervisor for Dallas ISD for the Northwest Quadrant. I have lived in District 3 for roughly 3 years. And what inspired me to run really for our community is to provide our community with the resources that it deserves, that you pay for and expect the city to provide for you. My goal is not only to represent you, but your family and your children. So thank you, everyone.
I'd like to reiterate to the candidates, you will have 1 minute for each question. Let's see. I think we'll keep it at 1 minute. We will rotate. You'll get first, and you'll get first, and you'll get first until we get through all the questions that we have here, or as many as we can. Every candidate must provide some kind of answer, even if it's, you say you don't want to answer. We need to hear something from you from each of these questions, okay? So, let's give everybody a warm welcome once again, and thank you so much for your willingness to serve the citizens of Dallas County, and especially those in District 3. All right, we ready to go?
Yes.
Let's go. All right, so I have one question here. The first one is, you know what, we need a little housekeeping. If you have a cell phone with you, and I'm sure most of us do, please put it on silent so we won't be interrupted, and to be respectful to the candidates as well, so we can hear what their responses are. Thank you very much. First question. List your top 3 priorities for improvements in District 3. What do you think needs to be improved? 1, 2, and 3 for District 3.
Actually, sorry, can we use this microphone? Because people in the back are having a hard time.
Okay.
All right, so the top 3 things that I believe District 3 needs to be improved on is the community safety. A lot of our elders are not feeling safe when they go to the stores. It doesn't even matter what time of the day it is. Some stores, they don't feel comfortable. Some areas, they just don't feel comfortable going. Another thing is the food desert crisis in District 3. Our constituents are tired of going to Cedar Hill, DeSoto, Duncanville, going outside the community to get their food and their groceries. And another thing is, I don't feel like we're adequately represented in City Hall. I think some of our issues are, undermined for the needs of big businesses and other people that don't live in District 3. So those are my top 3 priorities.
Thanks for the question. Our top 3 priorities in District 3, and this is based on feedback I received from surveys from residents of District 3, code enforcement. We got to do a much better job in terms of enforcing code. Nadia Chandler Hardy, who's our new assistant city manager who's over code enforcement, has come up with a strategy specifically to address code in Southern Dallas. We're focused on equity in the city of Dallas, long overdue. Focused on equity, which means we need more code officers in Southern Dallas, in Oak Cliff, in District 3. And there's a plan the city is developing right now that we'll be able to address that issue. Second, the lack of access to fresh fruits and vegetables. For almost 4 years, I've worked diligently to try and recruit grocery stores to District 3. We've recently established a District 3 grocery store task force who's focused on 2 options. One, recruiting grocers into District 3, and then secondly, a nonprofit grocery store. Not waiting on anybody else, we're putting the resources together in order to make that happen. And number 3 is lack of quality retail.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas. Ms. Rogers?
Ms. Compton.
I'm sorry.
I put the Rogers in there because that's my maiden name.
Duly noted. Yes, ma'am.
Recognize those genes.
Thank you.
My top priorities for District 3, I'm very concerned that we have older neighborhoods with crumbling infrastructure. And it continues year after year after year. All we're getting are temporary fixes and not any permanent solutions to our streets and roads. The second thing that I'm concerned about, I want the city of Dallas to get back to just plain old basic services that serve all of the citizens. And we're continuously seeing cut after cut after cut. And basically, if you just want to say it, the city of Dallas is broke. So those are the 2 things that I'm concerned about. We don't have quality retail. We don't have grocery stores. I'm concerned about the businesses that we do have in the area where you can't even get them to pave or clean up their parking lots. They need new facades, something to freshen up the area. But they're just plain old
basic services that we need to focus on.
Thank you, Ms. Compton. Ms. Scott?
So some of the issues that I plan on addressing in District 3 is, of course, we do need grocery stores in our community. But we also need other things that you all face. We need better clinics. We need better community resources that you all pay for. You all expect to be provided the resources from the city for you and your families. That is what I'm fighting for. I'm fighting for the transparency that you deserve from City Hall. The infrastructure